in honor of your kingdoms. Give me your voices!
The training for the show that we put on here in medieval times is very much like the original training of the medieval period. The order in which a knight is brought up is the same, from a page to squire to knighthood. The training with the horse, the fighting with the weapons, and the stunt falls, or learning to fall off a horse without getting permanently damaged, is very much the same. The difference is at the end of the night, we don't actually fight to the death, and the weapons aren't exactly sharp. They are real weapons, they are real horses, and it's real stunts. When a knight gets into the show, he learns exactly one fight, the basics of the jousting and the knightly games. It takes over 500 hours of training for a knight candidate to become a knight in the show. In that 500 hours, it would be a large amount of horseback riding, sword fight choreography training, stunt fall training, and specific horseback training for the knightly games. Okay, now I'd like to show you some of the weapons we use in the show here at Medieval Times and for practice. And it all starts with the basic technique, derives from the two-handed sword, which we call the mandoble, which is just a Spanish word for a double hand. And it is a two-handed weapon. And all the fight choreography that we do here derives from the two-handed sword technique. Everything we do is a series of either head strikes, leg strikes, or shoulder strikes. The technique with the mandoble is basically the ABCs of sword fighting choreography. And as you can see along the blade, it's real metal. These are actual chunks taken out from contact. And this is a titanium mandoble, and this is what produces our brilliant white sparks in the show. Other than the mandoble, we have what we call a regular espada. Espada is just a Spanish word for sword, and it's a single-handed sword. This is usually used with conjunction with a shield, as far as the ability to block and attack. It's a much lighter weapon. It's also made of titanium. And as you can see here, this is one we use in the show quite often, and it has the wear and tear. We also have larger bludgeoning weapons, like an axe, like a really medieval axe. And this is a two-handed weapon as well. The good thing about the axe is they have 3 points of attack at the head of the axe, plus the sheer weight of the axe can be used to actually smash and trap the opponent in his own armor. Obviously, we don't do that here in medieval times. It's choreographed and to ensure that we don't get hurt, but these weapons are real and authentic. This is something that a real medieval knight would use. And after the axe, we have a more specialized weapon that actually is not bladed at all. This is called a mace. And the mace is exactly the latter part of the use of the axe. It's a bludgeoning tool. This is exclusively intended to trap somebody inside their armor by caving in on them. Very heavy, very awkward, but it's if it lands anything, it's going to maim and or render that part useless. A night of feasting, fun, horsemanship, pageantry, and knights fighting to the death at medieval times.